Hey, welcome back to yet another Tyler the Creator tune quest. Today we're looking at Dogtooth, which has a dope chord progression consisting of only 2 chords. So I'm going to show you how to play these 2 chords, and we're going to explore how to voice these chords. This is a big topic when it comes to playing the keys and playing chords, is how to voice them, especially when you've got these kind of like jazzy chords with chord extensions. And so hopefully you're going to learn a whole bunch about the extensions, these dope chords, these voicings, and how to play around with them. Okay, so let's dive into it. Let me show you what the chords are in their kind of like most basic form. Okay, the first chord is a G sharp major 7. So in the left hand, just create a G sharp octave, and in the right hand, create a C minor triad. When you put them together, you get a G sharp major 7 chord. This is one of the formulas to create major 7 chords. It's to build a minor triad based on the 3rd degree of the chord, okay? The chord itself is a G sharp major. The 3rd is C. So from that C minor triad over the bass, you get a major 7 chord. And the second chord is this. This is a C sharp minor 9. Again, another just beautiful jazzy chord that's used in so much jazz music and neo soul and like funk music. So again, we've just got the root grounded in the left hand with octaves, and in the right hand you want to create a E major 7 shape. So you've got an E major triad and the pinky is grabbing D sharp. Now this is another one of the formulas to create major 7 chords, is to create a standard chord, right? Just an E major 7 finished with the pinky on the root, and you just lower the pinky a half step. And you can do this anywhere, by the way. So for example, C, if you want to spice up that C chord, just lower that pinky a half step. You can do this anywhere. So that's what we're doing here on this E. And when we play this on top of a C sharp, we get that C sharp minor 9 chord, that nice jazzy chord. Okay? So 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are the 2 chords of the song, right? Nice and easy. Now, I do implore you, once you learn it, to actually play along with the track. It's gonna feel and sound good. Right? Please excuse my half-assed attempt at beatboxing. I used to beatbox as a kid. I wanted to like get better at it again for these videos so that I could like do a beat, but I don't want to embarrass myself. So let's keep going. So I promised you that I would show you different voicings. So let me first show you how the piano is actually being played in the track. It goes something like this. Okay, so I promised you that I would show you some voicings. This is the next way to voice our first chord. So in the left hand, instead of octaves, we've got a 1-5 chord where we're playing the root and the 5th. And in the right hand, we've got this. Oh, what's this? Well, I can just show you what it is so that you can play it. Your thumb is on G, your second finger is on A sharp, middle finger is on C, 4th finger is on D sharp. And there you go. You could just like cut this out of the video and play it yourself. But I can actually explain what these notes are. So for our chord G sharp major 7, that G is the major 7. Right? Why? Because it's a half step down from the root. Okay? This A sharp is the 9th. Why? Because it's a whole step up from the root. Now this C is just the 3rd, and this D sharp is just the 5th. Okay, so let me show you this kind of pattern that is being used. Oh, this is so good. Whoever came up with this is like killing. So, firstly, we establish the chord. And then we do this kind of broken arpeggio pattern where we go up, down to the next one, up, down to the next one. Does that make sense? So you're starting on the second finger, going to the thumb, middle finger going to the second finger, fourth going to the middle finger. That's what the right hand is doing. And then every time you do this thing in the right hand, the left hand does that on the root and the fifth. Okay? The root and the fifth. Like this. Let me try to slow it down even more. And then we go to the next chord. Same thing is happening here, okay? It's the same broken arpeggio pattern. So, second finger, thumb, middle finger, second finger, pinky, middle finger, alternating between the left hand playing the root and the fifth. Play it really slowly first until you can get comfortable with it, but once you get it, take it to speed and it's gonna feel so dope. Okay, so yeah, that's another way to voice these chords and to play the actual part that is in the track. So let me show you the next thing that you can do on this. We can start with this voicing. Okay, this is our G sharp major 7 with the ninth extension added as well. So what this is in the right hand, you know what it is? It's actually just an inversion of what we already looked at. So if you want to start exploring chords, take what I've already shown you and play them in their inversions. Okay, so that's essentially what we're going to look at now. So we're taking these notes, and that G, instead of being on the bottom, we're putting it on the top. So we get that. Now let's take this up to the next inversion, and then the next inversion, and then the next inversion. Like that, right? Do you see what I'm doing here? Right? Does that make sense? We're taking these same notes and we're just like shifting them all up to the next position, and then shifting them all up to the next position. And by the way, this is a really powerful exercise for training your voicings and for actually building this language into your fingers. Because when it comes to chords and playing chords, it's a matter of like muscle memory and language in your hands and fingers. Like, it's one thing to know, like, oh yeah, that's the 7th extension, oh yeah, that's the 9th, or whatever. But when I was like really getting into practicing jazz piano, you know what I did? I literally just took these chords in both hands, like this. This is the chord that we're actually playing. It's a C minor 7. And what I did was I just like took it up, the inversions. Like that. That's literally what I did. If you want this language in your hands and fingers, it might take a little bit of drudgery. But if you're not willing to put in the work, then you're not going to improve. It's as simple as that, right? Sorry for a bit of tough love, but that's just facts. So that's essentially what we're doing here. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because the melody that you hear, that synth line play goes da, 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 da. You know that like synth droning melody goes up like that. And so that's always going to be the top note here. Da, 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 da. And then we move to the second chord, right? So and if you want to practice what I've kind of shown you here, right? You can take this E major 7 shape that we've already looked at and invert that down again, and then land on our other chord. And so this would be a really effective exercise if you want to start developing these chords, right? This is what I'm doing with the left hand. Do do da do 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 da do 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 da do do do. Okay, so that is some lessons on like voicings and dope chords and how to play them and how to develop them. The next thing I wanted to show you before we finish up this video is how to improvise over this. Now, this is a little bit tricky. Normally what I teach in most of my tutorials to improvise is the pentatonic scale. Why? Because it's the best scale to get started improvising on. But with this, I wanted to show you two main concepts. The first main concept is the concept of chord tones, okay? So chord tones refer to the notes in the chord. So the notes in the chord, our first chord, G sharp major 7, is G sharp, C, D sharp, G, the ninth, which is A sharp, okay? So we've got all of these chords to work with. So when you're improvising, you know, just play any one of those chords, any one of those notes. So when we go to the next chord, take a look at the notes that we can use. We've got C sharp, E, G sharp, B, and D sharp. And now, the real challenge here is going from jamming on this C sharp minor chord to jamming to the G sharp major chord. And that's where it's gonna sound really dope, when you actually land on a chord tone of the next chord, right? Check it out. Check it out. Proceeds to like completely blunder. See that? See how I was like, we flicked to the 7th extension of this chord. Getting a bit carried away. So that's the first thing, chord tones. And now the next thing, which I think is quite interesting, is this concept called common tones, which mean certain notes that are existing in both chords. So, for example, let's take D sharp. Right? When you play it, it works on both chords because it's a common tone. For our G sharp major 7 chord, it's the 5th, and for the C sharp minor chord, it's the 9th. Now, here's an interesting fact. This is actually the note that Tyler the Creator is rapping on. Okay, if you listen to the song, he's kind of going like. Okay, so I'm gonna put the video there, but I do encourage you to figure out what the other common tones are if you want an exercise. I feel like I've honestly given you a bunch of exercises in this video. Sorry, I didn't mean the tutorial to be so like so much like a piano lesson. Yeah, but that's a little bit of how I go about teaching the piano. So if you want lessons like that, definitely contact me. And hopefully this was helpful. Jam along, have fun, develop your chords, develop your language on the piano, and don't stop learning, because learning on the piano and developing these things is so much fun. I hope you have as much fun learning the stuff as I did when I was learning these chords. Heck, I'm still learning. I feel like I'm only just begun. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.